Hello, my name is James Spiro and this is KPMG's Work After Work event. I'm now joined with Roni Michael, the head of KPMG Edge, which is at KPMG Israel's technology arm. Roni, hi.
Hi.
Thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, sure, pleasure.
I'd like to speak to you a bit about generative AI and the big buzz that it is generating, if you'll pardon the pun.
Yes.
Tell me about it. What are you noticing about it? What are some of the trends you're seeing?
Yeah, first of all, it's not just a buzz. It's a revolution. This is literally going to change our lives. Everything that we do as individuals and as corporates is going to change because we have the amazing abilities of artificial intelligence at the tips of our fingers. And I'm not talking just about ChatGPT, which is an application of, large language models of GPT-4, but really the use of generative AI in everyday use. And if you think about what organizations can do with it, yes, it's definitely going to change not only our lives, but the way that work and how organizations work, it looks like.
So it's quite a big statement when people say it's going to revolutionize and change the world. And now we're all in tech. We kind of get it. A lot of us have used ChatGPT. A lot of us are following the changes as they happen. A lot of people are just going about their day. They don't realize what's happening behind the scenes. So can you give some use cases as to how generative AI will, in a year from now, completely change the lives that we live today? What's for the average Joe, what's it going to look like?
Sure. Well, first of all, let's take the obvious example of content writing. Content writing has changed significantly. It's almost unrecognizable because people can put up whole websites today in a matter of a day or days using generative AI. So that's one very simple example. Another example would be to think about, day-to-day activities that we might not need people to do, such as personal assistants or secretaries and things like that, because check 3 people's calendars and see if they can move something. Now, it's complicated. We can't just let an automation tool do it because you have to apply some reason, some logic, a lot of context and understanding. But if you're able to do that, you don't really need a person to go around doing that as well. And then analysts. Organizations have so many analysts going through data, understanding it, and providing the insight. All of that you can do today with a flick of a finger. Okay, so that's already here, and we're already seeing organizations and individuals use that.
I should use that because I'm trying to get 9 guys together for a dinner this summer, and it's chaos.
You should try. But then another great example would be how you could leverage the power of AI to be your own personal assistant for things that your current PA or your non-existent PA could do. And that could be anything from creating, data to look at, analysis, but also PowerPoint presentations, Word documents, spreadsheets, analysis. It's all of that can be, again, we can ask our personal assistant, our co-pilot, to do that. So easy. So these are just examples that exist that you can apply today. In the future, it's going to be so much more than that. Because in actual, we can teach our own personal assistants and mechanisms, the AI mechanisms that we use, to be trained based on what we need and what we usually prefer. So it's going to be so much more relevant to our specific needs.
You've listed some great benefits. What are some of the more nefarious, scary, potentially dangerous uses of this? I don't want to catastrophize anything, but it can be scary, right?
It is scary, isn't it? Change is very scary, and I think for this, oftentimes it looks like these machines can become so much smarter than we are. So it's scary. I'm not saying, and we've heard some apocalyptic, suspicions around being thrown in the air. I think one thing to comprehend is this is already happening. Artificial intelligence has been around for quite a long time. It's now at the tip of our fingers, and it's not going to go away. So that's one thing. Second, for sure, we as people, humanity, need to think about how to protect ourselves from letting machines make all of the decisions for us. And that is exactly why judgment should be applied. This is why we have regulators, but this is also why we have large corporates who are dedicated to trust and to trustworthy AI that can support us and protect us. So just using ChatGPT as an individual, that's fine. But if the education system would want to use generative AI, they'd probably go to an organization like Microsoft to build together with them models that will suit children, students, and so on. Now, we heard the regulator earlier in the panel that we just had, and regulators are often, one or two lags away from where the business is actually, what it's actually doing. I think in this case, there's a sense of urgency. We see regulation starting to be discussed around the world. There's a proposed legislation in the European Union. So it's happening, and that legislation will help us support organizations in doing the right thing and using AI for the better good of humanity, actually.
Well, it's good to know that things like that are already happening, and I've been reading some things about the EU AI Act, which is kind of making strides. Roni, I wish we could talk all day, but unfortunately we're out of time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.